We've looked at Cartesian planes, which is that XY coordinate system and plotting points onto the graph. We've also looked at the straight line that connects those 2 points together. Now, what I'm going to introduce here today is the general equation of a straight line. All right, so we're going to recognize the general equation of a straight line, and we're also going to understand its transformations on a graph. The general equation of a straight line is y equals mx plus c, where we've got these 2 points here, y. Now that's because we're on a y and x coordinate system. So we need to know if we've got one point, where is the other going to be based on the maths that we're doing to it. And we've got this m here, which is the gradient or the slope. And we've also got this c here, which is the y-intercept. Now, when you look on a graphing calculator, you'll see that if you take the value of m and you make it larger, so as you go from 1 to 2 or 2 to 3, what you'll notice with the straight line is that it gets steeper. So you can imagine the hill that you're walking up is getting harder to climb up. And if you take that value negative, instead of walking up a hill, you're going to be walking down a hill. And that's what the value of m does. We're also going to look at what the value of c does. We can see if we just fix it to be y equals 2x, we're just going to focus our attention onto the y-intercept, which is the line of the y-axis and where that crosses, so where it intercepts. If we take plus 1, for example, what we'll notice is that the graph shifts up. If we take plus 3 as an example, we can see that the graph shifts further up. And precisely, the graph is cutting through at those points 1 for plus 1 or at the point 3 for plus 3. For y equals 2x minus 2, what we'll notice is that we have still got the graph of y equals 2x, but it is being shifted down instead of going up. So we've got an up-down shift, and we've also got the shift of the slope, where we're either walking up a hill or downhill. So with that in mind, we're going to see if we can look at the equation of a line and sketch it onto a graph. So we've got here, sketch the equation y equals 2x plus 1 onto the Cartesian plane. Now, first thing I'm going to notice that this here is m. M is the slope. So we've got m equal to 2, and I also know that 2 is equal to 2 divided by 1. Well, that's essentially rise over run. So you can see that this is going to be quite steep, because as we go up 2, we're going to be going along 1. Right, and we've also got this point here, plus 1. Okay, that's the y-intercept. Now I'm going to have a go at graphing this. Right, that means that our straight line is going to have a y-intercept of 1. So I'm just going to put a dot there. And as I go along 1, so as I run along 1, I will have gone up 2 to this point here, because I've run along 1 and I've gone up 2. And I'm just going to connect my dots accordingly, because I know where the y-intercept is, and as I go along 1, I will be going up 2. So I'll go along 1, and then I go up up to this point here. And we can also go back the way. So as we go back 1, we'd be going down 2 to that point there. And we would have a straight line. I'm going to do it in a grey here. That looks like this. Okay, where it is quite a steep slope passing through the y-intercept at plus 1. Now, I do encourage you to pause the video here and see if you can give this one a crack, where you're going to sketch y equals negative x minus 1. Now, assuming that we've given it a go, let's have a look at identifying what is the slope and what is the y-intercept. Okay, now here we can see we've just got negative x, but there's a little invisible 1 there. So that would imply that m is equal to negative 1. So m is equal to negative 1, and we've got this for our y-intercept here, for our y-intercept, where c, or our y-intercept, is -1. Now what a negative slope implies is that we're walking down a hill, and 1 implies 1 divided by 1 for rise over run. So as we move along 1, we're going to be going down 1 because we're going down the hill. First point that I'm going to plot is this y-intercept here, where it cuts the y-intercept, and that is the point -1. And I'm going down the hill, so as I go along 1, I'm going to go down 1. And my points are going to act accordingly. Where I've got a straight line that cuts through. It cuts through right at this point here at -1, and I'm going down the hill. If you can imagine, there's your stick figure walking down the hill. And as you're going along 1, you're going down 1, which is our slope being -1.